What's up, guys? How are you doing? Today we have a special topic to talk about English. So, my topic today is what do you think when you are learning English? What do you think? So, today I have a special book with me here. I'm trying just to film a new video here. As you know, I am on a vacation right now in Guinea-Bissau. So, what's up? How are you doing? So my friends all of the worlds who are watching this video, I'm gonna just talk about a little bit about English today. Just what do you think when you are learning English? Most of the people when they are learning English, I I helped many people that wanted to learn English back in Senegal. So the problem they have, they think it is easy to learn a language, but I'm gonna say it is not so easy to learn a language. It is a little bit, I'm gonna say it is very difficult, because the reason why it is difficult to learn a language is to speak in that language as your native language. It is so difficult because there's sort uh for example, in my native language, I born in that language, so I learn the language as I grow up. So I speak the language naturally. I don't worry about grammar. I don't worry about conjugation. I don't worry about. There is nothing. I just speak naturally. So when you are learning a language, you have to learn a lot of things. There is a grammar, there is a conjugation, there is a phrasal verb, there is the idioms, there is the irregular verbs. There is a lot of things to learn. So when I was in Senegal, some of my friends used to ask me, so Mukhtar, I want you to help me just to learn English. And I said, yes, no problem. I know that it is not so easy. So I started just to give them some lesson in English. We we started to learn, and at the beginning they are enthusiastic and they want to learn, they are ready to learn. But as we keep on going in that process, they just give up on the halfway. They just keep, because they think that it is easy, but when they start, it is not like they expected, that they was thinking about the language because of that. So most of the, I think the most difficult that people encountered in English when they start to learn English is the pronunciation. Many people have that problem when they are learning English. The pronunciation, it is very important, because when you mispronounce the words, the person you are talking to, he will not be able to understand what you're trying to get through. So it is very crucial when you start to learn English. At the beginning, you start to learn the language with practicing the pronunciation at the same time. But most of the people, they neglected that things. They just pronounce as they want. As of French people, they, when they try to learn English, they try just to pronounce English like in French, just to pronounce, to read like in French. This is not like that. When I started learning English in 2019, I I was not at that time I had not a good level in French. I just can read in French, but at that time I could not speak. At that time I could not speak French, but I can understand French easily, but I don't speak. So I back then I wasn't able to speak in French, and I started learning English with my uncle. He taught me English, how to read. That helped me a lot. But it was when I started to learn the language, I did not take the language as a subject. In school, sometimes there is a subject that it is obligatory. It is you're forced to learn that subject, even if you don't want to learn it. For example, many people in school, they don't like math. It is very difficult, but you are forced to learn math. You don't. It gonna. It's it is will be it's how to say it. It will be so difficult because you are forced. But if you are learning a language, if you just take the language as a hobby, you want just to learn anytime you want, there's no pressure on you, you're gonna learn the language uh, just naturally without worrying anything. When I started learning English in 2000, as I said earlier, in 2019, I was studying in Senegal. I came back here. My uncle gave some people English lessons somewhere here in Guinea-Bissau. So I used to go with him. I started just to I used to just to go with him as to see how he teaches people English, and I said I want to learn that language. I used to mix up a lot. I all the time I used to mix up English just to speak randomly, something just I don't know. I back there I didn't know anything about English, so I used to follow him. Uh, the place he teaches English, I started to learn with him. He taught me a lot how to read in English. I learned a lot of vocabulary at that time. So I returned uh, in Senegal. So I met there with my best friends, Ahmad and Jikini. Ahmad, he's from France. Jikini is he's right now he's in Belgium. It's Belgium, I think. So we say this is how we pronounce it in English. So we were talking about. I remember at a I remember a day that in the morning we just woke up. We were on the roof of the on top of the roof, on top of the roof of the house. I think it is like we say it like this. We were talking about languages. I so at that time when I first of all when I met with Ahmad and Chicken, at that time I didn't speak French, but I can understand French perfectly. So I met with him. I was forced to speak in French. So at that time, we lived together, me and Ahmad and Chicken and one of my friends. His name is Ibrahim. So Ahmad he did not understand my native language. Uh, and Jikene, he did not speak Wolof from. Jikene speaks Wolof in Senegal. Ahmad is Senegalese, but he was born in France and came to Senegal just to learn computer. So we met there. Ahmad just speaks French, and we met. We was like we was all of us we wanted to choose one language just to understand at that language, for us just to communicate in that language. So we decided just to speak in French because of Ahmad. He just speaks in French. So at that time I was so afraid just to speak in French, but at the end of that year my level of speaking in French, it was so high. I could speak in French without problem. I learned a lot of vocabulary in French. Right now I can speak in French, even though I may make some mistakes in French, but I speak in French without fear and without worry about making mistake. So we decided, me and Ahmed Jikin, we decided to learn English. We started learning English together. We I just pick up my phone. I remember we go on YouTube to search how to learn English. The first person I saw on YouTube how to learn English, I didn't remember exactly what I wrote how to learn English. I just remember we was searching how to learn English, and I met these girls from Paris. Her name is uh, Kira Paris, I think. But the second person I saw on YouTube, it was Adrian from France. He's a teacher. He's a French guy who teaches English on YouTube. He's a very good teacher. He helps me a lot with my language learning in English. We started, and I I found another YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube is We Speak English. That YouTube channel, they post a lot of on their YouTube channel vocabulary and just sentences in English. So we decided to take 1 hour every day, just or 30 minutes, just to write in English, and then we read together. Each of us gonna listen. Uh, for example, I read, and then I give, when we finish writing all of the things that we decided to learn, we're gonna read together, and then and then I give the book my friends Ahmad. He gonna listen to me uh, as I read and I pronounce the words. If it's I make mistake, we kept on doing that. We learned a lot through that, but they unfortunately they gave up on the way. I kept just learning. That helped me a lot. I was learning because I love very much English. I wasn't learning the language because of just some people make pressure on me. Just like in school, they say you have to choose. There in Senegal, for example, when you're in high school, you have to choose some languages that you want to learn. Some people just choose Spanish or French or Arabic, but many people, they don't want to learn that language. They just get bored, don't keep on going. So that helped me a lot. I wanted just to what I'm trying just to get through here. When you're learning a language, just take it as a fun things to do, just like things that you're forced to do. Just learn it uh, peacefully without making pressure on you. You're gonna, as you keep on going, you're gonna improve. Right now, I know I have a lot of problem when it comes just to speaking English, but as I said in my previous videos, I have no problem when it comes to read and to write in English, or to I've never speak English with a native speaker. I don't know, maybe one day I'm gonna speak with a native speaker in English, but still I'm just trying just to film video on YouTube, just to talk to myself, just to try to improve my skills of speaking in English. I know that maybe right now I'm making a lot of mistakes, but I don't care. I just want to improve my skills of speaking, and I know as I maybe keep on going on that path, I'm gonna improve. I have books here. This is my last video. Uh, my last video. I was showing you a book that Harper's. This is a dictionary book. Uh, this is Harper's Verbs English. I'm just reading this book right now. It is very important. When you start to learn English, don't worry about grammar at the beginning. Just pick some sentences. Just learn a lot of sentences at the beginning. Don't worry about grammar. learn your sentences and vocabulary, a lot of vocabulary, because when you have a lot of vocabulary in the language, you can speak in the language and you can understand when people speak in the language. But if you don't have a lot of vocabulary, it is gonna be very difficult for you to speak or for you to understand any speaker when they speak in English. Just try to, at the beginning, to learn a lot of vocabulary and to read and to listen. This is very important. Maybe I'm gonna make another video about how to improve your comprehension in English, how to understand any speaker when they speak, just to get through that. Maybe I want to just film a 10-minute video, but I think it is 15 minutes right now. I'm gonna just stop here. So thank you very much, guy. This video was about how to think in English. What do you think when you are learning English? Just tell me if I made any mistake here, just tell me. So see you guys. I appreciate.